Once upon a time, there was a boy who dreamed of being a doctor. Since his early childhood, he has imagined himself as a good doctor who would take care of the sick, help the old, and listen to the patients. He would give them love, cure their illnesses, lessen their suffering and pain while standing and sitting beside them at night to ease their loneliness. Day after day and night after night, the dream grew bigger and bigger. As he progressed in his studies, the boy felt his dream getting nearer and nearer. The more he succeeded, the more motivated he was, and the more he worked hard to make his dream achievable. Then something very unexpected happened. One day, his mother got sick. She could not talk nor move, and she couldn't open her mouth. Her eyes were focused on his face and on the faces of the neighbors. They moved from everyone's face to the other as if she was watching them for the last time. They took her to the hospital where she was put on a very old and dirty bed. Nobody took care of her, and nobody paid attention to her because the doctors and the nurses there served only those who gave them money. The general rule inside that hospital was that the doctors served only those who gave them money. The more money you gave, the more attention you would receive. The doctors could not tell the people directly about their intentions, but they sent some nurses to the young man and asked him to give a sum of money to the doctor if he wanted him to take care of his mother. A nurse told the young man, "You have to understand that the situation of your mother is very critical. She's between the brackets of death and life. If she doesn't get the necessary care and help soon, I'm sorry to tell you that you will take her to the cemetery and you will never hug your dear mother again." The nurse took a few minutes of silence and then went on telling the young boy, "What are you going to do with your money if you lose your mother? Please, for the sake of your mother, give a little sum to this doctor. He will treat her as his mother. That's what he does. Remember, your mother is between life and death. You should save her. If I were you, I would not hesitate to give everything I have to save my mother. I have told you how things go inside this hospital, and it is up to you to make the last decision. Yes, only you." Without finishing her sentence, she left the room, leaving the young man to think aloud about his situation. The problem was that he had no money. What the nurse hadn't known was that the young man and his mother were miserably poor. They had no money and nothing at all. His mother was all that he had. She spent her life working in a farm to support his studies. The young man sat near the head of his mother. He put her head on his knees because they didn't bring a pillow with them. He cried and prayed for God to help his mother. He had nothing but God and prayers. After nearly an hour, the nurse came and asked the young man to leave the room so they could check on his mother. When he asked her about the doctor, the nurse murmured in his ear, "The doctor is in his room watching a football match. He is enjoying the game while patients are dying. As the young man was waiting outside the hospital, the nurse hurried to him. She hugged him and asked him to be a true believer. She told him that his mother had left this world and that her soul had left her body. She died? Yes, she died, she repeated. Surprised by the news, the boy started screaming. The shock was strong. He lost his consciousness and mind, as if he had heard good news. He started to sing loudly. He started singing a song he had learned when he had been a little boy. Oh, you flying eagle, be sure I would never love. Those who kill my butterfly, I would never forgive nor love. Those who kill the souls of butterflies. The young man took off his clothes and threw off his shoes as well. He left the hospital completely naked, with a naked head and a naked heart. He ran in streets singing that old Amazigh song he used to hear his mother singing before they went to bed. A crowd of people gathered around him, asking what happened for Iwis in Mass, which means in Tamazight, the son of his mother. An old man looked at the crowd and said he wanted to be a doctor to help the people. But unfortunately, the doctor killed his mother and ruined his mind. The doctor had assassinated his dream. He was a good citizen. Why do they kill citizens' dreams? As it is the case in manifestations, the crowd of people began repeating loudly that question. Why do they kill our citizens' dreams? Why do they kill our citizens' dreams? Why do they let flies kill beautiful butterflies? The old man with tears in his eyes asked the crowd, when will they understand that killing our children's dreams is killing their dreams and ours? Why do they cut the wings of butterflies, and why do they prevent our national butterflies from the night to live, to flourish, and to fly? He looked again at the sad faces around him and said, like a preacher in a strong voice, we have to understand and to teach our children in the world that it is not the country that kills its butterflies' dreams. We, the corrupted flies, are the ones who chase, hunt, and decimate our gorgeous butterflies when we give the flies the hammer of power to control the fate of bees and butterflies.